All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing great. Um, Today I want to talk about the hot sheet and best fit leads. So that's basically just another tool in Boomtown that we can use to provide value to our clients based on things they've already been looking at in Boomtown. So is anybody currently using this now? And if so, tell me a little bit about how you're utilizing it. Okay, so there are two ways to use it. First, you can do your reverse prospecting here on the left side of your lead central. You can type any address in here and see who matches it based on what's in your database. So every time somebody says, hey, my listing is now live, you need to come here and type that address in and see who in your database might be a good fit for it that you should send it to them. Hey, look, this house just went live. It's a great match for you. You should take a look at it. Open house is Saturday, or I can get you in Friday, something like that. So let's see real quick. What do we have that's currently live that we can use as an example? All right, this house here, 111 Sydney Lane. So this is what you would do. You're going to come in here and it'll start to populate because it's pulling right from MLS. And boom, no leads for the property. Now that's just in my database. So if I take my database out, there are 155 team leads that have some sort of score for this property. All right. Green is good. Kind of goes without saying, right? That's pretty intuitive, right? I would send it to anyone with a green box beside their name. And it goes down to 75 before it turns to yellow. So some of these people obviously are pending or under contract or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're sorting by people who are actively looking. So I would do hot nurture, watch, archive. Okay, that takes us to 83. So that's more manageable, right? So you've got also other indicator clues here. So Cassie, this is your lead. Richard right here. You can see that he's looked at it once and it's also on his favorites list.
He also has over 100 houses favorited and from everywhere. He's all over the place.
I understand. The point I'm making is there are context clues here to use for you to reach out and provide value to people.
Okay.
There's another person here, Maggie Tomasello. She's Stephanie's lead. She's looked at it twice. Okay, so you can use the context clues. This archive, Nicole Cornegay, has looked at it once. Tiffany, that's your lead. Again, this is a way to send out some bulk stuff. So what would the next step be? Well, you can do it one of two ways. You can just select one person and send an email and use the bulk tools. And when you do that, it's going to pre-populate this email draft, right? This template just about this property. Okay. Basically, usually what I'll do is I'll copy this salutation right here and drop it at the header of the email and then do something like this. And then I will come in and say, it has a 95, or it has a match score of 95 based on other homes you've been looking at. Take a look and send me some feedback. I'm available tomorrow 2 to 6 to show it to you. Something like that. Now, if you're going to do one-on-one emails like this without sending a bulk, you can really personalize it. You know, I noticed that it has XYZ and you've been looking for those specifically. We talked about those specifically. That's why it has such a good match. Or you can also do it this way. You can just select all and send a bulk email and do the same thing. Because if you copy this placeholder, it's going to update and personalize each subject line with your client's name. Okay. We know that putting people's names in email subjects gets better read responses. So that's why I just do that quick thing. And then all you got to do is come in here and same thing. I noticed this listing and thought it would be great for you. It just went active today. Seems to check a lot of the boxes that we had talked about were important to you, or, you know, it seems to be very similar to a lot of the homes that you've been looking at. Any questions about how to do that? Okay. Other bulk options are you can also send a text if you want to do that. Same thing, you can go in here and find one of the, it doesn't pre-populate a template like that one does. So you can pick something here to use it, or you can just go in and type your own text. And one thing you want to do is, you know, you'll pull the, you'll want to pull the prospect's first name and drop in there. So if you do bulk, they're all personalized.
Hey, Doug.
Yes.
I've noticed sometimes though with the text, it won't hyperlink the, or am I not doing something right? It won't hyperlink the thing.
When you're sending it like this,
Mm-hmm.
let's see.
Or maybe it's when I do it on my phone. No, I can't bulk text from phone, so that's not it.
There's not an option to link directly to that. So you're going to want to, like, you have to copy this and just, and then, I mean, it'll probably depend on their phone if the hyperlink works. I would think that it would work though. If you
When I send it, it doesn't seem to hyperlink it, but maybe it is on their end.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you're going to see the hyperlink on the send side, but they should get it on the other side.
Okay.
We can test it with each other today.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
She's smart.
So any questions about how to use that for your best fit leads? Basically, this is when we talk about reverse prospecting, this is what this tool is for. So if you get an email from Brittany Spencer and she's like, hey, we're offering a $3,000 agent bonus on this house, go search it. See if you've got somebody, you know, who can match it. If you've got builders who are offering incentives, go in there and type it and see who you get a match for. When we have our call on Monday and somebody talks about, hey, this listing is going live, this is why we do that. So you can go in and reverse prospect and find somebody, hopefully, for it. Because then at least you know you'll be working with somebody good on the other side. Any questions about that? Okay, so now the hot sheet is a little bit different because this is going to be more about things in general that are out there. So the best fit leads are about typing in one specific property and getting matches, kind of taking the opposite approach from the hot sheet. So what the hot sheet is going to do is, depending on the area you have selected up here in the top left-hand corner, it's going to show you changes to properties today. And you can change the time frame. I'll usually just do today. You could do past 2 days. If you try to do it at the same time every day, then you shouldn't really miss anything. But what I'll do is, so you come in here and look, and like, for example, there's some rentals in here too, which you can disregard these, but like you'll see there are a couple of different categories. So you've got back, meaning it was under contract and it's back on the market, or it was incoming soon and went live. Then you've got a price drop, or you've got new to the market. Now, the next thing you want to look at is, all right, I've got 14 best fits here. So that's the same as we were seeing when we put in the individual address. So if you click on the best fits for this new listing, you'll see it'll pop up similarly to what we had before. So you've got all the folks that have a match with this property. Again, you know, you might want to take out the trash, or maybe you don't, who gives a whatever, but you might want to bulk all these folks, and you can just go in and select like that, bulk actions, send email, and then you get the same thing from before. Hey, this home just hit the market. It's got a really positive score based on other homes you've been looking at. I wanted to make sure you saw it specifically. I'm available, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? Something like that. Any questions about that? The other thing with the hot sheet is it will not only show you best fits, so those matches, but it will show you your leads who have favorited it. So for example, this listing here has got one best fit. It's probably the same person, but they have somebody favorite it. So if you come in the hot sheet and you see people with favorited properties, well, what do you want to do? Hey, Anna, I saw that you favorited this property that just hit the market, and you took a look at it, or after you took a look at it, when are you available to go see it? Something like that. I noticed you gave it a heart. You want to go see if the pictures do it justice? You know, something like that. Any questions about how that works? This is a good tool to use to provide value to people outside of just the regular e-alert. You're being a little more proactive with this. Other than just sending things in mass to them, you're being very specific about certain addresses. And it's also really relevant to their search history, what they're looking at, and especially if they've added it to their favorites. So that's really how that works. It's not that complicated. It's a good best practice, especially as you're building your pipeline, to do this, you know, to take 10 minutes and do this once a day, or at least a few times a week. And that would just depend on, you can go in and select the time frame, but you're going to have a lot more to deal with if you do that. Say I want to do it one a week. Well, I went from 35 properties that have hit this morning to 2,500 plus that have had updates over the last week. So it's kind of like your to-dos. If you put it off for too long, it's just going to be impossible to manage. So just think about how you can utilize that to provide some additional one-on-one value to your clients in a way that really doesn't take up much time at all. Because if you've got somebody who's on an e-alert and their criteria is pretty broad, they might be getting, you know, 8 listings a day, and they might not have the time to pour through all of them, or they might just be kind of checked out because it's overwhelming. Being more specific about talking to them about individual properties can help provide some additional value, but also maybe help work through the weeds a little bit. It also shows them that you're really staying attentive and trying to help with their search, and it's not just completely on autopilot. You guys are really quiet today. So any questions? Because if you don't, that's really all I've got.
Hey Doug, I was gonna say one thing. Another thing that I do to help like stay on top of things, just I know the seasoned agents probably do this too, but for the new ones, I always add myself to their search if I have a hot client. And then instead of setting it to daily, because the way the market is right now, I've moved everything to instant. So that way they might, and I've told them all, you know, you might get multiple emails from me a day, but in this market, we have to know right away when the house hits the market. So I have it on instant. And then whenever I get it, because I know that some of my clients are working or whatever, I'll pull up the house and Flex, and then I text them the link to the house right away. So that I think provides a lot of value.
That is a great best practice. I do the same thing. I think that you should definitely make sure that you're doing that with your hot leads so they don't miss anything. And it's also, like Tiffany said, a great way to provide additional value. The copy, the link, and texting it to them so they go directly to the property has worked really well for me. many, many times. And instant definitely, and copying yourself 100% when they get to hot. And then also remember your best practice is once you get them under contract to stop the e-alert so they don't keep looking. Any other questions? Nope. All right. Well, if y'all are good with everything, that's all I've got. Go have a good day. Put this into best practice. See what you come up with and who it helps you reach. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So
Meg, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.